Hello, Leos, and welcome. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new here. For those of you who are returning, I owe you a great apology. I apologize for not having recorded videos for the past two sessions for late July and for early August. Some stuff came up in my life, and unfortunately, I just wasn't able to get the content recorded and out to you. I do apologize. So this is your reading and predictions for mid to late August. Let's get going, Leo. Also, happy birthday to those of you who are celebrating. I know that we are in Leo season. So where are we going? All right, let's get started. Okay, looks like we are going to have an exciting day of pulling cards. No, now we have two cards that have come out for where you are at now, and yeah, looks like that's going to be it. Nothing else squirting out here. Oh, okay, I lied. There we go. One more. All right. And do we have to actually get down on the floor? Yes, we do. I apologize. We actually have 5 cards that have come out here for you. Might be a lot going on for you right now, Leo, but that's not surprising given that it is your season as I sit here recording this for you. What are you guys focusing on? Next cards. Focusing on. Well, this is a good thing. Don't have anything coming out yet. All right. Let's go back through here. Oh, geez. Half of the deck just came out, but that's actually okay. Yeah, there's some more. Weird energies today. I just want to disclose to everyone, I had planned on starting to record this video about 2.5 or 3 hours ago, but there was some nastiness that happened in and around my trailer last night. And so I've spent the last couple of hours clearing some energies out, specifically related to reading tarot cards and so on. I am in an area that doesn't necessarily approve of people who do this type of work. All right, we do have one card out for what you're focusing on here, Leo, and I think we're going to have at least one more. There we go. All right. We've got 2 cards out for you, and let's move on. What's challenging Leo at the moment? Mid to late August? Oh, geez. Another one. All right, so because we have so many cards come out again in your challenges and difficult influences, we're going to mix these up because usually when we have quite a few cards that come out, it's an indication we're just meant to mix up the smaller pile. All right, messages that you need to hear at this time, Leo. What message do you need to hear at this time? All right. Okay, let's move into what is unexpected. What is unexpected for you guys? Mid to late August, unexpected influences and insights. Oops, at least that one didn't go on the floor. Right. Oh, there was actually two there. Perfect. All right, and let's have a look at your general overall outcome. This this deck actually had a couple of cards slide on the top of it as I was saying that. General overall outcome for late August. That's one, two. Anything else for the general overall outcome for our Leos for the end of August 2023? Yep, there we go. All right. Oh, wow. Quite a bit going on here. Okay. Let's have a look at where you're at now. We have the 6 of winter, 4 of autumn, 4 of winter. Oh, and the 4 of summer. You have 3 4s here. 3 4s and the king of spring. 3 4s all together. Leo, what is going on with you? The chances and the possibilities when there's 78 cards in the deck of you getting 3 4s coming out like this is just absolutely overwhelming to me. But let's start with the 6 of winter. The 6 of winter is a card of positive changes are on their way for you. This is a card of good news. And this is a card that often indicates that there may be some travel involved or a relocation that is involved. And it is letting us know like some of our troubles are definitely behind us at this time. You have the 4 of autumn here. The 4 of autumn is corresponds to the 4 of pentacles. Now this card is my miser card. This card is my card of making sure that your budget is balanced. So Leos, be paying attention to your pennies, making sure you're counting your pennies. Make sure that you don't have more going out than what you actually have coming in. And I know that in these hard economic times, I know with inflation and the price of everything going up, that this is far easier said than done. And yet the cards are definitely saying to you, be careful. The other thing that I want to point out on this card is, if we can get it to come into focus, this is also a card of be careful that you're not coveting something else at this time. The saying that comes to mind is the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. And so the depiction on this particular card is a fairy who is obviously of more of an upper class, and you know, she's dressed in her finest regalia. And this fairy over here is the fairy that is her aide or her assistant, who is dressed in more plain clothes and so on. And yet, if you look at the face, and unfortunately, I don't think I can get that to come into focus. No, not really. But if you ever have a chance to take a close look at this card, you can also Google it. If you look at the face of this fairy, who is an aide or a servant to this fairy, there is a longing on this one's face as she's looking over to this one. And this one is kind of looking down her nose at the other one. Okay. So this is a card also that represents that you may be experiencing some division and some envy. So in addition to making sure that you are balancing your budget, which is one of the messages of this card also holds the message, Leo, of make sure you are not thinking that the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, because quite often it isn't. And here's why, going deeper into the meaning of this card. This one is kind of looking down her nose at this one, but she, in her looking down her nose at her, may also be craving the freedom that this one has. So this one's kind of craving the clothes and the lifestyle, the material things in this one's life. Okay. But this one has a very restricted life, being that she's from the upper echelons and she has to act a certain way. This one has more freedom. Okay, so the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence, Leo, and that's one of the messages of this card. This is telling me right now that you are in this position where you may be looking and going, oh, I want that, but not realizing on a deeper level that what they actually have may either be very superficial or may not be what you think it is. Okay, let's move into the Four of Winter. The Four of Winter is also known as the Four of Swords. This is a card of take a step back from what's going on and perhaps rest, make a decision later. You'll notice here on this card that the character on the card is inside her little fairy hole, which is a little hole inside a tree, and she's just sitting in quiet contemplation. So the Four of Swords is about quiet contemplation. You may want to contemplate about whether the grass is greener on the other side. And you may also want to, while you're in this quiet contemplation, be looking for creative ways to balance your budget. You have the Four of Summer coming in next, and the Four of Summer is about paying attention to whether you're being distracted. Aren't we all being distracted in these times? Yes. So I don't really want to get into certain theories flying around about what's actually happening, but the reality is that a lot of us have had the wool pulled over our eyes for many, many years. We have been distracted by many things, and this is a card of don't be distracted. You may miss something really important, Leo. So make sure that you're paying attention to things. So on this card, we have the little fairy down here who is desperately trying to get the attention of this fairy who is just staring off into space. Okay, don't be distracted at this time. There is a difference between going off into a place of quiet contemplation and daydreaming and not paying attention to the important things. The whole idea of going into this place of quiet contemplation is so that you're not in a place of being easily distracted or pulled away from the important things. And finally, we have the King of Spring here, also known as the King of Wands. And this is a card of leadership. This is a card of showing that you have achieved certain skills. And this card may also indicate that there is a financial windfall on its way to you, but only because you have put work into a project, right? This card is by no means talking about a financial windfall coming your way because you sat there in the lotus position going, oh, I'm manifesting lots of money. Oh, I'm manifesting. No. This is a card because the king has put in the work and the effort in order to be able to reap the rewards. So summing up kind of where you're at now, Leo, is there are positive changes on the way to you, but you're going to have to make sure that you have a positive cash flow and balanced budget. Make sure you're not coveting what somebody else has. The grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. And in order to make sure that you're really clear in what you want, take some time, some solitary time alone. Make sure you're not being distracted by, YouTube videos. Here we are. And by social media. And again, going back to this Four of Autumn, social media, right? The grass isn't always greener. What you see on Instagram isn't always reality. And there is good things coming to you, but you have to work your way towards those things as well. Let's have a look at what you are focusing on. Okay, take it slow. You have the Knight of Cups in reverse here. And so the Knight of Cups is a card of planning out your next steps. I do believe in the Osho Zen. This card is represented by a tortoise, which is all about slowing down. Slow and steady wins the race. So this is one of the things you're being called upon to focus on for the remainder of August. You also have the Six of Pentacles coming in here. You have the Six of Winter, also known as the Six of Swords. You have the Six of Pentacles coming in. The Six of Pentacles is my card of philanthropy. And what the Six of Pentacles is a card of, if you have sufficient amount to give and share, then please do so. And if you don't, then ask for help. Okay, so this card actually has a dual meaning, especially considering we have 2 3s that make up a 6, and the Three of Pentacles is the card of ask for help if you need it, and the 6 is give help if you can, ask if you need help. Okay, so this is really what you're focusing on, some philanthropic work. And it's not just about giving money, Leo. It is also about giving of your time. So, for example, maybe you're not in a financial position to be able to give money to somebody else, but perhaps you have extra time on your hands because, I don't know, maybe your hours have been cut at work. So going out and doing some volunteer work, what many people don't realize is if they volunteer their time, what they're actually creating in the karmic universe that we live in is more good things that are going to come towards them. Okay, there is that balance, and that's what this card is talking about, is that balance of give and take. In your challenges or difficult influences, you have the wandering path. This is the enjoy the journey card. And so in your difficult influences, what this card is saying is that you're not realizing that you're on a journey. You're not rushing towards some destination. So actually enjoy the path, enjoy the journey when you're being asked to slow down. And you do have 2 cards here indicating a request from the universe for you to slow down. You have this card saying step back and go into your little hole in the tree and go into some quiet time. This is a card of slowing down, this Knight of Cups in reverse. And so what this wandering path card is telling me in your difficult influences is that you're rushing towards something and you're missing, right? You had this Four of Summer here, indicating that you may be distracted and maybe not paying attention to the little things along the way. And this card is indicating that and confirming that as well right now, Leo. You have vast vistas, expand your horizons in your difficult influences. Again, this is part of the journey, right? We're on a journey. We're not rushing towards a destination at this time, Leo. So slow down, enjoy the journey. And this is going to help you to expand your horizons and see the bigger picture that's out there. Messages you need to hear. Oh my goodness. Inspire others. Well, you have the philanthropic card here. You've got the Six of Pentacles here, which is the philanthropic card, right? So it's not just a question of being philanthropic by way of giving money. You can also give of your time. And when you give of your time and volunteer, you inspire others to do the same, right? Be that role model, Leo. And the other card you have is set your intentions. This card makes sense in your reading because if you are rushing towards a destination at this time, you are missing out on the journey. And you're really not going to expand your vast vistas and expand your horizons if you're rushing towards something. And oftentimes we rush from one thing to another, not enjoying the journey, not learning from the journey. And then we have to set new intentions again. But really, we haven't achieved what the journey was supposed to teach us because we were so set on the destination. So Leo, I'm really feeling, before I even turn any more cards over, I'm really feeling like the gist of your message for mid to late August. Slow down, enjoy the journey. Make sure when you are setting your intentions that you are doing so with clear mind. What comes to mind is Aladdin's lamp, for example. Be careful what you wish for. So, you can't just set your intentions. Oh, I want to manifest $1 million. Think of lottery winners. There's a lot of lottery winners out there. I want to win $1 million. They win $1 million, and 6 months later, it's all gone. And they're back to square one, or potentially even in a worse position financially. So they didn't learn the lessons along the road. And I really feel like that personifies the bigger message here for you this month, Leo, that you're going to have to slow down, enjoy the journey, learn the lessons along the way. In your unexpected, you have the Four of Wands, you have the Hierophant, and you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, the Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's an extremely positive card, indicating that you are about to have some extreme success. I do want to point out that you have the Four of Summer, which is the equivalent to the Four of Cups. You have the Four of Winter, which is the equivalent to the Four of Swords. And you have the Four of Pentacles, Four of Autumn here. And now you have the Four of Wands. This is all 4 fours in the deck. So I do want to say, Leo, pay attention to fours coming up. So the 14th of the month, I am planning on releasing this video a day or two before the 15th. So pay attention to the 14th and pay attention to the 24th. Pay attention to fours coming up in your life. Fours create balance because 2 + 2 = 4. Well, at least back when I went to school, apparently they're changing that, but I don't know. So again, look at belief systems. You have another card that is indicating look at belief systems. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Look at, this is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is the card of look at the institutions that have taught us since the time we were young, whether that be our family, that's an institution, society, that's an institution, religious institutions, educational institutions, our work or job place is an institution. This is the card of looking at those institutions, the 5 main ones that I just mentioned, but there are minor ones as well. Family, society, religious, educational, and work. Look at those and see what they've taught us. See what belief systems they've brought in. Do those belief systems that they have imparted to us resonate with us? Do they continue to resonate with us right now, here today? I don't know whether you Leos have had this card in the past, but one of the tenets of this card is, do the beliefs of our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents still resonate for us today? So I guess one of the examples we could give is that our great-great-grandparents, our great-grandparents, even our grandparents had numerous children. The reason that they had numerous children was in order to carry on the family line, in order to be able to help on the farm and the homestead, in order to be able to support the family, to go out and get a job and support the family. And as well, I mean, let's face it, there was not a lot of control with regards to pregnancies in those days either. And as well, infant mortality was a big deal. Okay. Does it still resonate with you today to have a large family and to have numerous children? Is that still in alignment? For the vast majority of us, the answer is no. But it is still, for a small portion of the population, still believes that having a very large family resonates with them, right? These are the questions that the Hierophant brings up for us. This is the type of deep exploration that the Hierophant is asking you to go into mid to late August for you, Leo. And the final card that you have here in your unexpected is the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups is the card of brooding over past losses. So I'm hoping that I can get this to kind of come into focus. You'll notice here that the character on this card is facing 3 cups, and the cups are knocked over, indicating that there's spilled milk. And he's brooding over the spilled milk or crying over the spilled milk without realizing that there's an opportunity right behind him with 2 cups that are still filled. And so, Leo, you are being asked at this time to pay attention to what's all around you, the vast vistas all around you, right? Slow down, pay attention to the journey, and don't be crying over a little bit of spilled milk that's right in front of you, because all around you are other great opportunities. All right, I'm having trouble picking these cards up. There we go. All right, so let's have a look at what is your general overall outcome. You have the King of Swords here, another king. King of Swords. King of Spring is the equivalent to the King of Swords. And in your general overall outcome, you have the King of Swords again. The King of Swords is about a financial windfall coming towards you, but only because you had the control and wherewithal in your life to put in the work that was necessary in order to get there. Now, this card does come with a caveat that if you are trying to control things too forcefully, right? Let's face it, we can't control every aspect of our lives. And if we try, we bring in a little bit of insanity to ourselves. So release some control, while at the same time continuing to put in like a really good work ethic, I guess, is what you could say about the King of Spring or the King of Swords. You have the Nine of Pentacles here. Nine of Pentacles is a really positive card for an outcome here, Leo. It is the ripeness card. It's a card indicating that you have put in a sufficient amount of work and you are now beginning to reap the benefits, financial benefits, as well as social benefits from the work that you've put in. You have the Two of Swords here coming in. Now, this card is a card of indicating that you are likely to be put in a position by the end of August where you're going to have to make a decision, a big decision. And like I said, with the Hierophant coming up, that is about decisions as well. Decisions in particular relating to our belief systems based on the institutions in which we were raised. So you do have this Two of Swords coming in, indicating that you do have a pretty big decision that you're going to have to make. And when you have to make that decision, it's going to be an all-in. It's not going to be an airy-fairy, oh, maybe I could go this way, maybe I can go that way. Leo, you have a big decision coming up at the end of the month. And the thing is that if you've set your intentions and been really, really clear, and you've been learning lessons along the way on your journey, rather than like just diving towards the destination, the decision will ultimately be an easier decision. If you've done your Hierophant work and explored the institutions, slowed down so that you could explore the belief systems of the institutions under which you were raised and what resonates and what doesn't, this decision that you've got coming up is going to be easier to make. And finally, your final card in your reading is the Ten of Cups. This is the Harmony card. This card is known as one of the happiest cards in the deck, Leo, indicating that things are coming into alignment for you. There is going to be harmony. There is going to be a balance that's going to be brought about for you. So, Leo, I'm going to leave that off. I hope that this resonated with you, and I look forward to having the opportunity to do your next reading come early September.